Hi, I'm Miss April. I'm a children's instructor with the Howard County Library System. Today I've been talking with an expert in funny stories. A jester has to keep a smile on. And Jess and I have been talking about a couple of things we have read in the past few weeks, and we'd like to recommend some stories to you. They're all available through the library's website on our catalog. All you need to access ebooks or e-audiobooks or books in print is your library card. So find that card and start searching. The first one by Max Brallier talks about how to have fun when the world is falling apart. In The Last Kids on Earth, we're introduced to Jack Sullivan, and he's on it. In his 13 years, Jack has bounced around lots of foster homes, and he's figured out a strategy for coping. Look upon life like a video game. You overcome obstacles, you earn virtual prizes. You can even be a hero. Although Jack says he's just an average kid, but not normal. Jack's feats of apocalyptic success approach makes a lot more sense when you realize that his small town of Wakefield has been overrun by zombies and a bunch of wild and crazy monsters. Everybody who could escape has gone west. Everybody else is either hiding or has been turned into a zombie. Jack's been hiding. He's holed up in a treehouse, which he has fortified, and he has a plan. It has 3 steps. Number 1, survive. Number 2, find his best friend and inventor extraordinaire, Quint Baker. Number 3, rescue his crush, June Del Toro. Jack last saw her racing into the middle school, but he doesn't know if she's still there. He doesn't know if Quint and June are still alive. And he sure doesn't know if June needs rescuing or not, but it's on his list. The problem is Jack has made an archenemy of one of the biggest, nastiest monsters out there, an intelligent one that he calls Blarg. Jack wounded Blarg in a previous encounter, and Blarg is out for revenge. How's he going to get around that one? Find out by reading The Last Kids on Earth by Max Brallier. And while you're at it, reserve books 2 and 3 as well, because you won't want to miss any of this part chapter book, part graphic novel, part Marvel superhero type comic adventure. Adventure is all over the Greek myths. There are daring heroes, fickle and powerful gods and goddesses, all kinds of creepy and horrendous monsters. But have we heard the real story behind the myths? Hades, god of the underworld, doesn't think so. According to Hades, his little brother Zeus, yes, that's king of the universe, Zeus, the thunderbolt guy. Zeus has spun the myths to make himself look good. Hades sets out to tell the real story. He calls Zeus a mythomaniac, in other words, a big fat liar. And Mythomania is the name of the series by Kate McMullen. The book we enjoyed recently is called Lost Odysseus, and it tells Hades' version of how Odysseus, the Greek hero, got home from the Trojan Wars over a long and arduous journey of 10 years. Talk about a bad cruise. Odysseus had the bad luck to anger the god of the sea, Poseidon, who threw a lot of obstacles in his way. But Poseidon never managed to kill him, and Hades contends that's because he, Hades, was helping out the hero. Hades was forced to swear on the river Styx that he would not help Odysseus, but he said he wouldn't help him directly, which gave a clever god a lot of wiggle room to finally help the poor guy get home to Ithaca and to his wife and son. If you like myths, you'll enjoy Hades' version. They're just as exciting and a lot funnier than the originals. Mythomania by Kate McMullen. and get lost, Odysseus. Speaking of things told from a different viewpoint, check out A Dragon's Guide to the Care and Feeding of Humans by Lawrence Yep. This tale is told by the dragon herself, Miss Drake, who is very old, very crusty, and very clever. Of course, as narrator, she gets all the lines. Miss Drake has been living in San Francisco, almost in plain sight, because she can shapeshift. Humans don't even know she's around unless she wants them to know. 2 humans come into her old home as new occupants, as her story opens. A young woman and her daughter named Winnie. Winnie is the grandniece of Miss Drake's beloved and now deceased pet, Fluffy, otherwise known as Aunt Amelia. Yes, dragons can sometimes keep humans as pets, but it doesn't work the other way around. So Miss Drake is utterly shocked when she discovers that Winnie has the idea that now that she's living in her aunt's old home, Miss Drake will be her pet. Have you heard of anything so ridiculous? Despite the misunderstanding, the two do develop a rapport. Miss Drake shows Winnie the sights of San Francisco that humans almost never get to see, and introduces her to a number of fantastic magical creatures. Winnie has a great time sketching them in her new sketchbook. But when Winnie's sketchlings escape from the book, it takes both dragon and human to find them and get them back where they belong before they create chaos for both the magicals and non-magicals alike. Check out Lawrence Yep's A Dragon's Guide to the Care and Feeding of Humans if you like fantasy with a healthy dose of humor. Jess, I think it's about time for us to sign off. So remember, keep smiling, keep laughing, and keep on reading. Bye for now.